I was 8 years old when I lost my older brother. I wanted to keep him. I even asked Santa not to let him be taken away. I guess that was too much of an ask. Now, we're snowed in together for the weekend, and are working out what to do with the discovery we made while clearing out the basement of our dead parents. It may come across as a cliche, but 9/11 really did change everything. Things weren't exactly idyllic, but we were happy and cared for. But then the 90s were over. My never-ending childhood suddenly ended when my brother signed up for the army and was deployed to Afghanistan. He came back. Most of him, at least. It was hard to pinpoint what was gone, but somewhere between basic training and the rest of the service, something changed. Our relationship surely had. Mom and I said it was like he had been swapped with an alien. Her blood pressure soared while he was overseas, and only continued to climb even when he came back, eventually leading to a stroke. I stayed home to take care of Mom for years, but it didn't prevent her premature death. While I hated to see her go, we were all thankful, I'm sure, that it had been relatively peaceful and in her own bed. While I was taking care of Mom, my older brother built his career and a family. We kept in touch. He visited and helped with the bills, but there was still a barrier. Not just with me, but his kids. Somewhere along the way, I changed from the cool, fun, artsy end. Instead, I had been turned into the failure-to-launch loser who still lived at home in her 30s with zero prospects, a boogie woman for what they would become if they didn't work hard in school and have a plan. Naturally, this ignored all the circumstances of why I stayed home to begin with, not to mention my own mental health struggles in reference to the aforementioned, but I digress. Dad's health experienced a pretty significant decline during this time, as well. He was struggling with retirement, and while he had always been a tinkerer and collector, the scrap metal he accumulated in the basement was beginning to look pathological. And when I say retirement, I mean a permanent, forced medical leave. Teaching the local history of South Jersey and folklore of the Pine Barrens hadn't just been a vocation, it was his calling. But something terrible had gripped his mind. As soon as Mom passed, he, too, needed round-the-clock care. Dad had no outlet as a teacher without his students except for Reddit, which was a godsend. For privacy's sake, I won't out his profile or the subreddit Please Don't Dox Me or Us, thanks, but he was a top poster in a great but strict historical sub until being banned for his increasing inability to distinguish folklore from historical reality. It was the saddest I'd ever seen him, I think. When he lost his job or during Mom's decline and death, he kept a stoic front. But Dad was no longer the same man he had once been, and he couldn't hold back. He lost all sense of normality he had, and that was the final straw. When he finally realized why he couldn't respond, he cried and cried. It killed him. Thankfully, setting up a Reddit clone was easy enough, and I paid someone much smarter than me to build a bot that responded to his rambling with thank yous, follow-up questions, that sort of thing, to keep him engaged. Judge me or my way of handling it if you like, I don't care. For the last year of his life, Dad reclaimed a facsimile of himself, which was better than nothing. Now, they're both gone. My life was so full for so long, even accounting for putting everything on hold, personally and professionally, to care for them. I'm thankful for our time together, but I've lost so much more than momentum. The pressure bubble has popped. They're gone, but I'm still here. The house has become quite still. There is nobody around who cares what I have to say throughout the day. Mom was the only one who really got me. Dad tried, but it wasn't the same with just us. And now, I don't even have that. I don't want to imply that my brother was absent during all of this. That was the case. He visited with the family and spoke to Mom and Dad regularly, but I was the one handling the day-to-day. He was busy with his life, and I don't fault him for that. I just wish he were a little more understanding and a little less pushy about me getting my act together. I've been through a lot, and think I deserve a little grace. It was a difficult holiday, which turned over into an exceedingly lonely January. This past week has been my first time seeing my brother since the funeral. We agree about keeping the house and the family and me staying in it, so nothing to worry about there. There may be one minor point of contention over a certain white gold ring, but that has been handled. However, the house has accumulated the detritus of a family living there continuously for over 40 years straight, and my brother is a control freak, so there is no way he'd let me go through it all without his supervision. Truth be told, I am thankful to have a hand. Plus, it helped to have someone with business acumen to help me determine which paperwork has been pointlessly cluttering cabinets and drawers for decades, what mementos he wants for his kids, which tools and other junk I can sell on Marketplace, that sort of thing. Like many of you, we're experiencing this storm across the US, which is to say we're snowed in. I don't think my brother's timing is coincidental. And like my father, my brother has never been good at expressing his feelings. I think he sees this as an opportunity to force a painfully awkward attempt to reconnect and repair our relationship. And while, yes, some of it was boring, we did manage to have some fun together for the first time since Bush was in office, coming across the toys we used to fight with, together and over, including but not limited to He-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jurassic Park, and WWF meant I was never interested in Barbies, and Mom never called any of them action figures or dolls, only men. After sorting through our boxes of men, we rediscovered our old PlayStation. He initially dismissed it as non-functional when I sheepishly produced a missing bundle of wires from the bottom of a dusty china cabinet. I hid it when you stopped letting me hang out with you and your friends. I had so much fun that weekend they came over, and we all beat Spider-Man together. He smiled, and while it seemed whimsical, there was an underlying sentiment of regret. That was a good weekend. It started on Friday due to a snow day, right? It took us a few days, but we got through the upstairs and downstairs, and even managed to watch some old episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000 together. That was nice. It started to feel a bit like old times. It had been frustrating, being treated like I still sat at the kids' Thanksgiving table of life. With the 8-year age gap, I was always treated like the baby of the family, and I was tired of it. But we were starting to work out a dynamic of how to interact as equals. There were lectures about me finishing my bachelor's, and I even got him to try weed for the first time, which is monumental in itself, but that story is special, and it's just for us. Dr. Phil bullshit aside, things were going alright, and it was time to tackle the basement. Mom had Dad install a hook and eye at the top of the door when we were little, so we wouldn't open it and tumble down the basement steps. For some reason, it was hooked closed. I hadn't been down there since the barefoot slug incident. The less said about that, the better. Opening the door into the dust-mote-filled darkness, I nervously scrambled for the switch, hoping the inevitable cobweb was uninhabited. The speed of light was no match for the smell of must. Next, my least favorite part of the basement, the creaky wooden staircase, with just enough space between each step to reach out and grab your ankle. No,